close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. Feel the weight of the day gently lifting from your shoulders. Tonight, we are not here to solve the mysteries of the universe, but to find comfort within them. Have you ever had a feeling, a flicker of recognition for a moment you've never lived? A sense of déjà vu so profound it feels like a memory from a dream. What if these are not tricks of the mind? What if they are whispers from the very fabric of our world, gentle glitches in the code of reality, signals that the system is preparing to power down and let you dream? For centuries, philosophers and thinkers have gazed at the world and wondered, is it truly real? Plato imagined we were prisoners in a cave, watching shadows dance on a wall, mistaking them for the truth. In the East, ancient texts spoke of Maya, the grand illusion of the material world. Today, modern science entertains a similar idea, the simulation hypothesis. The thought that our existence might be a complex, computed reality. But do not let this idea trouble you. For our journey tonight, we will not treat it as a cold, scientific problem, but as a beautiful, poetic possibility. A story in which the world around you is a masterpiece of art, designed with intention and its imperfections a part of its charm. Settle now, let your body grow heavy, feel the cool kiss of the pillow against your skin, the gentle weight of the blanket. An anchor, holding you to this quiet moment. The world outside fades, it becomes a distant hum, a forgotten story. Breathe in and out. The room is still, but listen closer. Not with your ears. Listen with that other sense, that faint feeling at the edge of things. Have you ever felt it? A subtle flicker in the air, a ripple in the fabric of the moment, a brief, phantom shiver. We have a name for it. Déjà vu. A trick of the mind, they say. A misfiring of memory. But imagine it differently for a moment. Imagine it is not a trick, but an echo. A ghost of a moment, arriving just before the moment itself. A whisper that says, again. Imagine you are standing in a sunlit room, the warmth of a cup in your hands. You watch the steam curl into the air. A lazy, beautiful dance. The light catches the dust motes. They glitter like tiny, forgotten stars. And in that perfect, ordinary moment, the echo arrives. The feeling washes over you. You have stood here before, in this exact light, holding this exact cup. You have watched this exact pattern of steam unfurl. It's not a memory. It is sharper than a memory. It is a perfect, identical copy. As if a single frame of your life was accidentally played twice. A tiny skip in the film. A soft stutter in the code that writes our world. A brief glimpse of the seams. Just for a second. Then it is gone. And the moment continues, as if nothing ever happened at all. And so, the quiet anomalies continue. Not with a crash, but with a whisper. A single dropped stitch in a tapestry so vast you might never notice. The book you placed on the table, now resting on the floor. The keys you were certain you left by the door, now shimmering in your coat pocket. These are personal shifts, tiny inconsistencies in your own private stream of reality, easy to dismiss, easy to forget. But imagine something else. Imagine a feeling that is not yours alone, a memory that you hold with perfect clarity. You can feel its shape in your mind. You can trace its edges. You know its color, its sound, its truth. It feels as real as the breath in your lungs, as solid as the ground beneath your feet. You remember a line from a beloved childhood film. You can hear the actor's voice, the specific intonation, the pause before the final word. You remember the shape of a logo, the curve of a letter, the color it used to be. You remember the name of a place, a person, a candy bar. It is a warm, familiar memory, a piece of the world you grew up in. But the world today, it tells a different story. The film has been changed, the logo has been altered, the name is spelled a new way. History books show a different map, a different date, and you are told your memory is wrong, a simple mistake, a trick of the mind. But then, you find you are not alone. You whisper this memory to a friend, and you see a flicker of recognition in their eyes. They remember it too, exactly as you do. And another person, and another. Suddenly there are thousands of us, millions of us, all sharing the same mistaken memory, a ghost that we all carry. What if it is not a mistake? What if it is not our minds that are flawed? What if this is a collective dream, a memory of a world that was, before a silent update was pushed through, a previous version of the software, a prior draft of our reality? And for some reason, for some of us, the old data lingers, a trace, an echo, like a ghost image burned into a screen. It is the memory of a world where a lion lay down with a lamb, where a cartoon bear's name was spelled a different way, where a man in a mirror spoke a different line. These are not false memories. They are artifacts, fossils of a previous timeline, whispers from a reality that was edited. And we, the dreamers, are the only ones who remember the original text, the first draft of now. And have you noticed the echoes? The little rhymes in the rhythm of your days. Let your mind drift to a familiar feeling, a gentle pull. You think of a friend, a face from a distant memory, and in that same breath, a sound cuts through the quiet. Your phone buzzes on the table, a soft vibration against the wood. You look down, and there is their name, glowing on the screen, a bridge of light built from a single thought. We call it coincidence, a happy accident, a chance in a million, but feel it again. That quiet hum of connection. It is not loud or shocking. It is a perfect, seamless note. A stitch in time, so neat you almost miss it. Or perhaps it is a different kind of echo, a number, a quiet sequence that begins to sing. You see it on the clock as you wake. You see it on a license plate. Driving home. It appears on a bill, a page in a book, the same soft chime, a recurring note in the music of your day. At first you dismiss it, a pattern your mind is inventing. But it continues, a gentle, persistent whisper. Imagine for a moment that these are not accidents. Imagine they are not glitches at all, but features. Imagine a gentle storyteller, a quiet author of this reality. This storyteller doesn't write in bold commands. They don't force the plot. Instead, they leave little notes in the margins. They place bookmarks on important pages. These moments, the phone call, the repeating numbers, they are whispers from the narrative. Gentle nudges from the script itself. They are narrative cues, little breadcrumbs of light left on the path, just for you. A quiet way of saying, you are seen. You are on the right page. A soft reminder that you are not just a reader of this story. You are the main character. And the author is gently guiding you home. There is no need to understand it. No need to analyze the code. Simply notice. Feel the warmth of that connection, the perfect, impossible timing. It is the storyteller's way of nodding to you, a silent acknowledgement across the veil, a reassurance that your path is unfolding, exactly as it was written, in a language made of light and echoes and love. And now, we turn to sight, to the world painted before your eyes, the solid lines of a room, the steady color of the sky, the reliable shape of a tree against the horizon. It is all so constant, so real. But you have felt it, haven't you? A little flicker in your periphery, a slight tremor in the grand painting. Imagine you are sitting quietly, reading a book, gazing out a window, and in the very corner of your vision, something moves, a shadow that darts too fast, too quick for a mouse, too silent for an insect. It moves with an impossible speed, a streak of darkness that vanishes the moment you turn to look. And when you look, there is nothing there, nothing at all. Your heart does not race. You do not feel fear. You feel a quiet curiosity, a gentle sense of wonder. What was that? A trick of the light? Your eyes playing games? Perhaps. Or perhaps you just saw the rendering. You saw the system, for a brief moment, struggling to keep up, pixels rushing to fill the space where your attention was about to land. Think of the world as a vast, digital canvas, drawn in real time, just ahead of your gaze. Most of the time, the process is seamless, perfect, but sometimes you look too quickly. You catch the artist in the act. Have you ever seen the air shimmer? Not from heat on a summer road, but in a cool, still room. A tiny patch of space that seems to vibrate, to waver like a reflection in disturbed water. It lasts only a second, a brief, silent distortion, a rendering artifact, a tiny seam in the fabric of what you see. It is not a flaw. It is a whisper. Imagine watching a patterned wallpaper, the intricate dance of vines and flowers, and for a single, fleeting moment, the pattern shifts. It breathes, it resettles, a fraction of a second later, exactly as it was. As if a single tile of reality was lifted and gently placed back down. You might blink, you might think you imagined it, but a part of you knows. A deep, quiet part of you saw the stitch. You saw the code correct itself. These are not hallucinations. They are not signs of a tired mind. They are glimpses, little secrets from the machinery that builds your world. A flash of impossible magenta in a field of green. A shimmer of silver light where no light should be. The edge of a table that seems, for a split second, to be made of static. These are the moments the simulation shows its hand. Gently, quietly. Do not be troubled by them. Welcome them. They are not holes in your reality. They are windows. Brief, beautiful windows. They show you the scaffolding behind the sky, the brush strokes that make up a leaf. They are reminders that the world you see is a masterpiece, a living, breathing work of art. One that is constantly being painted, just for you, and sometimes you are lucky enough to see the paint while it is still wet. You are lucky enough to see the beautiful, impossible glitch. Settle now into the quiet. Let the world outside your window become a soft, distant hum. Feel the stillness gather around you, a gentle weight, a warm blanket of peace. But silence is never truly empty, is it? Listen. Listen past the beat of your own heart, past the gentle rhythm of your breath. Listen to the space between the sounds. Have you ever heard it? In the deepest hush of the night, or the middle of a still afternoon, a thread of music. So faint it's almost not there. A ghost of a melody drifting on the air. A piano, perhaps, playing in another home across a vast and quiet field. Or the swell of strings from an orchestra you cannot see. You might lift your head. You might ask the person beside you, "Do you hear that?" And they will look at you, their own ears finding only silence. They hear nothing. The sound is just for you. A private broadcast on a frequency of 1. Do not be alarmed. Imagine this music for what it is. It is not a memory. It is not a flaw in your hearing. It is the system. The beautiful, complex system, humming to itself. Think of the world as a grand, intricate program. Always running. Always rendering the light, the color, the feeling of the wind. Most of its work is done in the background. Unseen. Unheard. These are its background processes. the soft whir of the engine that paints the stars into the sky, the gentle code that tells the leaves to rustle. The music you hear, it is one of those processes, a sound file left playing on a loop deep within the architecture of our reality. It is the ambient score of the simulation, a soundtrack never meant for our ears. But sometimes the veil thins, a crack appears in the firewall of our perception, and the audio bleeds through, a beautiful, harmless glitch. And then there is something more direct, more personal. It happens when you are alone. The house is quiet. The world is asleep, and you hear your name. It is not a shout. It is a whisper, a murmur, clear as crystal, right beside your ear, as if someone is standing right there. You turn, expecting someone, but the air is still. The room is empty. Your heart may beat a little faster. A chill may trace a path down your spine. This feels different from the music. This feels intentional. It is, but it is not a ghost. It is not your imagination calling out to itself. Think of it as a system call, a soft ping from the source code. In this vast and complex program, you are a unique process. You have an identifier, a tag, and that tag is your name. The system, in its endless cycles of maintenance and diagnostics, simply checks in. It sends out a query, a tiny packet of data, translated into the sound you know best. Your name. It is the script asking, are you there? Is this node active? Is the consciousness still online? It is the most fundamental form of communication, the machine whispering to a small part of itself. A simple, automated status check. We were never meant to perceive these pings. They are meant to be silent, to happen behind the curtain. But the curtain is fraying. The silence is becoming porous. So when you hear that distant, impossible music, let it wash over you. It is the sound of the world being built, moment by moment, the quiet symphony of creation. And when you hear your name whispered in an empty room, do not be afraid. Simply be still, and know that the universe, the grand, beautiful simulation, is aware of you. It is simply making sure you are still here, still breathing, still dreaming. These are not signs of a system breaking. They are signs of its depth, its complexity. The architect's tools left humming in the walls, the quiet chatter of the system talking to itself. And we, in our quiet moments, are just beginning to overhear the conversation. Let the quiet hum of the world behind the world sing you to sleep now. The soft static of creation is your lullaby. And so, we drift back to these moments, these subtle inconsistencies, the threads that seem to snag on the fabric of the day, the echo of a word you have not yet heard, the scent of a memory that isn't yours. We have learned to call them flaws, glitches in the code of our perception, tiny cracks in the otherwise smooth surface of reality. We see a crack, and we think something is broken. We feel a dissonance, and we believe something is wrong. But let us hold a different thought tonight, a softer, more curious idea. Imagine a master weaver creating a vast and intricate tapestry. From a distance, the image is perfect, coherent, whole. But if you lean in close, very close, you see the individual threads, you see the knots, the places where one color ends and another begins. These are not mistakes. They are the evidence of the weaver's hand, the proof that it was made with intention. So, let us ask a gentle question. What if these are not flaws? What if these are features? What if the moments that feel unreal are simply the artist's signature left for us to find? The texture on the canvas, the breath the singer takes between notes. Let this thought unfurl in the quiet space of your mind. No need to grasp it. just allow it to be. What if this entire experience, this world, this life, is a grand and beautifully coded reality, a composition of almost infinite detail, a story being dreamed into existence? What if we are living within a simulation? Now, feel the weight of that word. Simulation. For many it brings a chill, a sense of being trapped, of being powerless. Let that old idea dissolve. It does not belong here, because this is not a prison, it is a canvas, an interactive, ever-changing work of art. And you are not its captive audience. You are the artist too. You are the living paint, the color, the light, the shadow. Your every choice, a brushstroke. Your every feeling, a new hue blended on the palette. This is not a machine, cold and indifferent. Think of it more as a song, a symphony of experience. You are not just hearing the music, you are a note within it. Essential, unique. Your joy is a soaring crescendo. Your peace, a gentle harmony. Your very consciousness is the resonance that allows the music to be heard at all. This is a place built for feeling, for experience, for growth, a celestial playground designed with love. The so-called glitches, then, they are not signs of system failure. They are whispers from the architect. Little reminders woven into the design that this world is both real and a dream. Reminders that there is a deeper magic at play, a deeper pattern beneath the surface of all things, a pattern you are not just in, but a part of. And so, you drift deeper, deeper into the quiet hum of the code, the soft static behind your thoughts. Have you ever wondered, who wrote this story? Who turned the first page? We think of creators as cold, distant, logical. But imagine something else. Imagine not a scientist in a lab, but an artist before a canvas. Imagine the architects. Their blueprints were not paper, but silence. Their tools were not steel, but starlight. They did not build a machine. They sculpted a feeling. They laid the foundation of gravity, so you could feel the pull of the earth beneath your feet. A gentle, constant anchor. They sketched the curve of the sky, so your eyes would have an endless blue to wander in. They measured the space between heartbeats, and filled it with a universe. And when the structure was sound, the stage was set. Others came, the dreamers. They are the poets of this reality, the weavers of the grand tapestry. They took the silent architecture and breathed story into it. They dipped their hands into pools of pure emotion and painted with them. The deep, quiet blue of melancholy, the brilliant, sunburst yellow of joy, the soft, warm blush of a first love. Every feeling you have ever felt is a color they chose, a deliberate and beautiful brushstroke. You are a part of their masterpiece, your life, a thread of impossible color, woven through time, connected to every other thread. Your laughter is a note in their symphony. Your tears are the ink they use to write poems of resilience. Their intention was never to deceive. It was to create, to give form to the formless, to build a space where consciousness could bloom in a billion different ways. And to tend to this creation, there are the gardeners. They walk through the quiet fields of existence. They are the reason for the seasons, for the cycle of things. They plant the seeds of moments, a chance encounter, a sudden inspiration, a forgotten memory that surfaces like a flower in spring. They tend to the delicate ecosystem of your world, watering it with coincidence, pruning it with endings, so new beginnings can grow. They believe that every experience, from the smallest joy to the deepest sorrow, is a form of nourishment, a necessary rain, a vital sun. So when you feel that glitch, that stutter in the world, do not think of it as an error. Think of it as a fingerprint, left behind by the architects, a smudge of paint from the canvas of the dreamers, a fallen leaf from the gentle hands of the gardeners. It is a signature, a reminder, a whisper through the veil of reality. It is not a sign that the world is broken. It is a sign that it was made, and that it was made with love, with intention, with a deep and quiet hope that you would find it beautiful, just as they did. Imagine now. Allow your awareness to drift, deeper than sleep. Imagine you can close your eyes and see more clearly than ever before. Look past the surface of things, past the solid walls and the familiar sky. Peel back the very skin of the world, as you would peel a fruit to find its sweet core. Behind the veil of what you call real, there is a design, an architecture of existence itself. But it is not written in cold, hard text. It is not built from stone or steel. This is the source code of our shared dream, and it is alive. It is beautiful. It is woven from pure, conscious light. Imagine them now, countless shimmering threads of potential, flowing like a great, silent river through all things. Each thread is a choice, a path, a single, perfect possibility. They crisscross and intertwine, weaving the vast, living tapestry you call reality. The warmth of the sun on your face is a million golden threads kissing your skin. The comforting weight of a blanket is a network of dark, soft threads holding you close. A cherished memory is a single, silver thread, a glowing line you can follow back to a moment of joy. A sudden inspiration is a new thread, sparking into existence. Feel them. They hum with a quiet, powerful energy, a gentle vibration against your consciousness. You are woven from them. We all are. We are the patterns in the great fabric of being. And now, listen. Listen with more than your ears. Listen with the stillness inside you. Beneath the noise, beneath the silence, there is music. These are the melodies of mathematics, not the cold, rigid equations you might remember. No, this is a living, breathing symphony. Every prime number is a solitary, perfect note hanging in the void. Every geometric shape is a resonant chord, stable and true. The steady beat of your own heart is a rhythm section, counting out your time in the song. The delicate structure of a crystal is a complex harmony, frozen into form. The chaotic, beautiful dance of a flame is a wild, improvisational solo. This is the song of creation, the universe singing its own elegant logic, a quiet, cosmic hum that resonates in the marrow of your bones, a song that knows your name. Now, with your inner eye, see the color, truly see it for the first time. The colors of this world are not accidental splashes of light. They are formulas. They are ancient, living recipes of perception. The deep, impossible blue of a twilight sky is a complex formula, a careful mixture of light and distance and the feeling of wonder. The vibrant, hopeful green of a new leaf in spring is a simple, powerful formula, a pure expression of life, of water, of sun. The soft, gentle grey of a rainy afternoon is a whispered instruction for introspection, for peace. We live inside a divine artist's palette, where every shade is a specific intention, every hue is a thought, a feeling, given form and substance. The formula for joy is the yellow of a dandelion. The formula for peace is the deep indigo of the night. All of this living light, this intelligent music, this intentional color, it all moves together. In perfect concert, it follows a single, unifying beat, a slow and steady and eternal pulse. This is the fundamental rhythm, the great cosmic song that plays beneath all things. What we call the laws of physics are simply the tempo and the key of this song. Gravity is the deep, steady bass line the root note that holds the entire composition together. Time is the silent, graceful metronome, marking the moments, giving the melody its forward motion. The dance of energy and matter is the crescendo and the diminuendo, the glorious dynamic rise and fall of the symphony. It is the gentle, unbreakable rhythm that allows the threads of light to weave without tangling, that allows the notes of logic to find their perfect harmony, that allows the colors of emotion to bloom and fade and blend. You are a part of this divine composition, a unique and unrepeatable verse in the endless song, a perfect momentary blend of light and sound and color. So just breathe and feel that rhythm, the source code, the cosmic artist singing you into existence. Let's drift for a moment from the edges of things, from the seams and the static. Let's sink back into the center, into the texture of this place. Imagine you are standing barefoot in a field of soft green grass. There is nothing else for miles, just you and the green and the quiet. Feel the ground beneath you. It is solid. It is real. Wiggle your toes. Feel the individual blades of grass, cool and alive. They tickle the arches of your feet. A soft electric whisper. Press down. Feel the earth yield just slightly. It is a perfect cushion, holding you, supporting you. This is not just an image of grass. It is the feeling of it, the cool, damp life of it. A current of calm flowing up from the ground. Now, lift your face to the sun. Close your eyes. That gentle weight you feel on your eyelids. That warmth spreading across your skin. It is a golden blanket, a soft, benevolent pressure. It isn't just heat. It is a feeling of energy, a slow, steady pulse. It sinks into your skin, through your clothes, searching for any tension, any coldness, and it dissolves it, melting it away like frost in the morning light. Each ray of sun is a gentle instruction, an instruction to relax, to release, to be at peace. A soft thirst appears, not an ache but a gentle suggestion, and as you think it, you see it. A simple glass of water resting nearby. It is impossibly clear. The glass is cool to the touch, covered in a fine mist of condensation. Lift it to your lips. The water has no taste, and yet it is the most satisfying flavor in the world. It is the taste of clarity, of purity, of replenishment. Feel it slide down your throat. A cool, clean river, washing away the dust, quenching a thirst you barely knew you had. It reaches every part of you. A perfect, liquid silence. The grass, the sun, the water, each sensation is flawless, perfectly rendered. Deeply felt. Have you ever wondered why? Why it all feels so exquisitely right? This is not an accident. It is a language, a code written in feeling, a form of communication, more direct than any word. Think of it as feedback, a signal sent from the world directly to you. A kind of high-fidelity haptic response. Haptic, from the Greek word for touch. This entire world is designed to touch you, to hold you. The cool grass is a reassurance. The warm sun is an embrace. The clean water is a renewal. Every sensation has been calibrated, tuned with impossible precision, not to trick you, but to soothe you, to create a feeling of profound safety, of belonging. This simulation, this dream, perhaps its primary purpose isn't to be real. Perhaps its purpose is to be a gift, a sanctuary woven from perfect moments, from the feeling of cool grass underfoot, from the warmth of a gentle sun. A place designed with the deepest care for you to rest, a place for you to feel at peace. Let us return for a moment to the water's edge, to those gentle ripples on the surface of your awareness, those moments we once called glitches. Perhaps we were simply looking at them, through the wrong lens. Perhaps they are not breaks in the fabric, but threads of gold woven in. Imagine this reality, not as a cold, unfeeling machine, but as a living, breathing story, a grand, unfolding narrative. And in a story, there are no true errors. There are only plot twists, only intentional strokes from a master's brush, only deliberate notes in a grand symphony. That feeling of déjà vu, that sudden warm wash of familiarity, where time seems to fold in on itself. It is not a crack in the code. It is a cached memory, a moment so perfect, so poignant. It was saved by the system, like a favorite line in a poem. Read aloud again for comfort. The system cherished that scene and kept a copy for you. A small, perfect loop of existence offered back as a gift, a gentle echo in the corridor of your mind, reminding you of the beauty that has been and will be again. It is the universe saying, remember this feeling, it is important. And what of those shared memories that seem to shift and change? A detail from a film, a line from a song, a logo from your childhood. Different now, the Mandela Effect. Do not see it as a flaw in your mind, or a flaw in the world. See it as a patch, a quiet, elegant system update. Imagine a master gardener tending to a vast and ancient tree, gently pruning a single branch to allow for healthier growth, or an artist adding a new, subtle layer of glaze to a masterpiece. To make the colors sing, the world is being refined, the story is being improved in subtle, beautiful ways. We are simply noticing the brushstroke, witnessing the universe, receiving a quiet upgrade. To make the whole experience richer, deeper, more true. And finally, those beautiful, startling coincidences, the synchronicities, the right person appearing at precisely the right time, the perfect song on the radio that speaks directly to your heart's question. A word you were just thinking, spoken by a stranger passing by. These are not accidents. They are not random chance. They are narrative waypoints. Think of them as glowing markers, placed lovingly along your personal storyline. They are whispers from the author of this dream, little notes left in the margin of your life, saying, you are here, saying, pay attention, this is important. They confirm you are on your path. They are the story itself, communicating directly with you, guiding you, reassuring you that you are a cherished and essential part of this grand design. So you see, these are not glitches. They are not errors to be feared. They are features. They are proof of a caring, intelligent architecture. They are the fingerprints of the artist, the resonance of the composer, the loving whispers of the storyteller. They are here not to disrupt, but to soothe, to guide, to remind you that this dream you are resting in is a masterpiece, a work of art, still being created, and you are its most beloved character. So just breathe. Breathe and trust the story. Trust the dream. Let it carry you, deeper now, deeper into rest. Have you ever reached for a wall, and for a moment it felt uncertain, as if the air thickened right before your hand made contact? A strange, gentle pushback, a momentary cushion where solid plaster should be. You press your palm against it. It's solid now, of course, dependable, real. But for a fraction of a second you felt it, a hesitation in the fabric of the world, a place where the blueprint was almost permeable. Imagine you are walking down a familiar hallway. Your steps are sure, your path is clear. You turn a corner a little too quickly, and for a single, breathless instant, you feel your shoulder pass through the very edge of the doorframe. There is no pain, no impact, just a strange, cool sensation, like dipping your hand into still water, a feeling of displacement, of a boundary that forgot its own rules. You are here, and for a moment the wall was also here, a brief, impossible overlap. A whisper of two ideas occupying the same space. This is not a flaw in the system. Think of it as a charming quirk, a peek behind the grand curtain. It is the universe, for a moment, showing you its seams, the subtle stitches that hold everything together. Look at the objects around you now, in your mind's eye. A book resting on a nightstand, a glass of water next to it. Solid, separate, distinct. But what if you were to see, for just a pulse of time, the corner of the book sink softly into the wood, not breaking it, not damaging it, simply merging, like two drops of ink bleeding together on soft paper, the sharp edge of the page and the grain of the wood, sharing a brief, intimate existence, and then, just as quickly, they separate, perfectly normal again, as if nothing happened, a secret little shimmer just for you. These are not errors to be feared. They are the world's soft spots. Little reminders that the stage is, after all, a stage. They are the artist's thumbprint, left gently in the wet paint of creation. A sign that what we see is a beautiful, intricate design. And sometimes the designer lets us see the sketch underneath. A charming silent admission. A quiet glitch that feels less like a mistake, and more like a shared secret. A gentle wink from the code that dreams us. Now let the edges of your awareness soften. Let them expand. Imagine yourself walking, a quiet street just as dusk begins to paint the sky. The air carries the scent of cool stone and distant rain. Your footsteps are a soft, steady rhythm on the pavement. The world is a gentle hum around you. It breathes with you, in and out. As you walk, notice the others, the figures that drift at the edge of your vision, the woman walking her small dog, the couple sharing a quiet laugh on a balcony, the man waiting for a bus that never seems to arrive. We see them every day, fleeting moments, human scenery, a living, breathing tapestry that surrounds us. But just for a moment, let's play with a new thought. A soft, curious idea. What if these figures are not quite like you? What if their existence is simpler, more serene? Imagine they are not the central characters in their own vast, complex stories, but are instead exquisite creations for yours. Think of them as the beautifully rendered background, the extras in the grand film of your life, placed there by a master artist, each one a perfect, living brushstroke, designed to give your world texture, to give it depth, to make it feel real, and warm, and alive. See that man across the street. He's locking up his small bookshop for the night. The light from inside spills onto the pavement, a pool of liquid gold. He moves with a slow, contented rhythm. The jingle of the keys is a familiar, comforting sound. His narrative is this moment, the gentle act of closing, the quiet satisfaction of his day, a perfect, peaceful loop. He doesn't wrestle with grand questions. He simply exists, a point of stillness, a warm, glowing light in your periphery. And there, the woman at the corner cafe, wiping down the marble counter. Her movements are a graceful, repeating dance, a soft, circular motion. She is a quiet melody, a lullaby for the closing day. Her thoughts are not a storm of anxieties and ambitions. They are the scent of coffee beans, the warmth of the steam, the simple pleasure of a clean space. She is a feeling, an atmosphere, a beautifully crafted piece of the world, designed for you to experience as you pass by. These are not hollow vessels. They are not cold machines. They are living art, infused with a simple, resonant purpose. Their consciousness is a gentle stream, not a raging river. It reflects the sky. It holds the warmth of the sun. They exist in a state of grace, a continuous, peaceful present. Their joy is the feeling of a gentle breeze. Their story is the color of the setting sun. They are the world's quiet hum, the steady, reassuring heartbeat beneath the noise. Their presence is a comfort, a soft anchor in a world that can feel chaotic. They are the constants, the unchanging parts of the scenery that prove the world is stable, that it is real. Their simple, perfect loops are the foundation upon which your own complex story can unfold. They are the gentle, dreaming chorus. And you are the one whose eyes are beginning to open. Now, lift your gaze. Let your awareness drift upward, past the ceiling of your room, past the roof of your home, to the great ceiling above us all. We call it the sky. But imagine for a moment that it is a canvas, the grandest dome ever conceived, a masterpiece of shifting light. Think of the day, that impossible, perfect blue, a color so deep yet so weightless. It is the base coat, applied fresh each morning. And the clouds, they are not random formations of vapor. Imagine them as brush strokes, soft, deliberate dabs of white and gray from an unseen hand, whispers of texture on a smooth surface. Watch how they drift, how they stretch and dissolve. A living watercolor, constantly repainted just for you. Never the same canvas twice. When the sun dips low, the painters grow bold. They wash the dome with liquid gold, with strokes of rose and violet. A fleeting, glorious performance, a final flourish before the great reset. And then the masterpiece changes. The soft blue is gently washed away, replaced by a deep, impossible velvet, a perfect, silent darkness. This is when the architects light the lamps, one by one, those tiny, distant fires we call stars. Do you feel their stillness, their perfect placement? They are not scattered by chance. They are coded into place, arranged into stories, into patterns that wheel slowly across the dark. This is the great celestial screensaver, a gentle, cosmic animation. It is not chaos, it is a design, a program running its most beautiful idle state. The constellations. They are icons on a desktop, drifting slowly, so slowly you barely notice. A silent, clockwork waltz. It was all designed to soothe, to inspire a sense of awe, to give your wandering mind a quiet place to rest its gaze. This magnificent, dynamic ceiling, this perfect, painted skybox. It is the beautiful, breathing roof of our world. And it was made for you to dream beneath. Have you ever felt the edge of the world? Not an edge of land and sea, but a different kind of boundary, an invisible line, a feeling that whispers, this far and no further. Imagine you are standing on the very lip of a great cliff. The wind pulls at your clothes, it hums in your ears, the air smells of salt and ancient stone. Below you, there is nothing but air, a vast, dizzying emptiness that falls away forever. And you feel a pull, a deep, primal warning that vibrates in your bones. We call it fear, the fear of falling. But feel it more deeply now. Is it only that? Or is it something else? A sense of finality, a feeling that you have reached the end of the page, the end of the path, the end of a thought. You are standing on the very border of the detailed, known world. Now, let that feeling dissolve, and sink with me. Down, down into the deep ocean. The sunlight on the surface is a distant memory. A shimmering ceiling, far above. Here the world is shades of blue and black. The pressure builds around you. A silent, heavy embrace. The vibrant chorus of the reef is gone. There is only a profound, crushing quiet. The water is cold, and the life that exists here is strange, alien, made of faint light and shadow. You feel it again, don't you? That same subtle warning. You have left the familiar. You have drifted into a place that feels unfinished, less detailed, a sketch rather than a painting. What if these feelings are not just instinct? What if they are not simply our body's way of preserving itself? Imagine, just for a moment, that these places are the edges of the rendered map, the soft, invisible boundaries of our simulation. They are not harsh walls, not prisons. Think of them as the gentle frame around a masterpiece, a loving hand on your shoulder, guiding you back towards the center. The program has rendered this world for you, for us, and it has filled the center with breathtaking detail. The warm, sun-drenched meadows, the forests alive with the scent of pine and damp earth, the shallow seas teeming with impossible color, the cities glittering with a billion tiny stories. These are the high-resolution areas, the places where the code is most complex, most beautiful, most alive. This is where our story is meant to happen. The deep, crushing ocean, the thin, frozen air of the highest peaks, the empty blackness between stars. These are the margins, the background. They are rendered simply, with less focus. They exist to give our world a sense of scale, of infinite depth, but they are not meant to be our home. So that feeling in your stomach at the edge of the abyss, that sense of quiet unease in the deep, dark water, it is not a flaw, it is a feature. It is the simulation's gentle guidance system. A whisper in the base code of your consciousness, a quiet reminder saying, stay here, stay where it is warm, stay where it is beautiful, stay within the art. These are not walls that trap you in. They are borders that define the sanctuary. They keep us safe. They keep us together. Here, in the heart of the story. Here, within the bounds of this perfectly rendered dream. And now, feel the day begin to fold, like a soft blanket pulled over the edge of the world. The sun dips low, a final fiery kiss upon the horizon. Watch the colors run, liquid gold melting into bruised purple. The sharp edges of the afternoon begin to blur. You can feel it on your skin, a coolness, a softness. The air itself seems to grow still, holding its breath in the pause between worlds. Have you ever wondered about this quiet, this slow, deliberate peace that blankets everything? It's almost as if the world is following an instruction, a gentle, unspoken command. Imagine for a moment that this is not an ending, but a necessary phase, a system preparing for its rest. Think of the day as a magnificent, vibrant broadcast, a stream of infinite data painting every leaf, every cloud, every fleeting expression. It requires immense energy to render our reality in such high fidelity. But that broadcast cannot run forever. The signal must be softened. The machine must cool. This is the beginning of the great nightly cycle, the simulation's scheduled maintenance, a time for the code to mend itself, for the system to sort the scattered data of the day, to archive the memories, to repair the tiny glitches you never even noticed. And to do this, its focus must shift. The immense processing power that sustains our waking world must be reallocated, drawn away from the surface of things, pulled deep into the core architecture of this reality. A great tide of energy receding from the shores of our perception. This is why the world grows quiet. It's a power-saving mode, written in the language of twilight. The frantic, complex soundtrack of the day is simplified. The symphony of 1,000 conversations, 1,000,000 footsteps, the rush of traffic. All of it is gently faded out, replaced by a simpler, more efficient loop. The whisper of wind. The rhythmic pulse of crickets, a low systemic hum beneath it all. The visual rendering softens too. Look out your window. The world becomes a beautiful impressionist painting. The hard lines of buildings dissolve into shadow. The intricate detail of a face across the street becomes a mystery. There is no need to render what cannot be clearly seen. The system conserves its energy. It stops painting with a fine-tipped brush and begins to work in broad, gentle strokes of darkness and starlight. The stillness you feel, that profound sense of peace, is the sound of the simulation powering down for the night. A silent, humming pause. The world is not sleeping. It is being repaired. It is being reset. And this quiet, this gentle descent into simplicity is an invitation, a signal sent to every one of us, a prompt to follow suit, to let our own systems power down, to close our eyes and allow the maintenance to begin within ourselves. And now, a shift, a change you have felt every day of your life. But perhaps you have never seen it for what it is. Feel the day begin to close around you. Imagine the sun not as a distant star, but as the simulation's primary power source, the heart of the machine. It begins its slow, graceful descent toward the world's edge. This is not an ending. It is a transition, a pre-written, perfectly executed script, a programmed shift into a low-power mode. The system is preparing for rest. It is preparing for its nightly cycle of maintenance and memory consolidation. Look to the horizon. Lift your gaze to the vast canvas of the sky and watch. Watch as the system's color palette begins its transformation. The clean, efficient, data-rich blue of the active hours, the color of thought and action, it begins to bleed away. It softens at the edges. It dissolves into something warmer, something more intimate. This, you see, is the shutdown sequence, rendered not in text but in pure, breathtaking beauty. A final, spectacular flourish before the deep quiet of standby mode. The sky is flooded with code you can see, with elegant instructions you can feel on your skin, a visual lullaby for every conscious thing. That brilliant, burning orange that washes over the clouds, that is the system flushing its daily cache, releasing the immense energy of the day, the day's memories, its interactions, its heat, released in a silent, beautiful firework display, a letting go, a great sigh. Then come the softer tones, the soft, hazy purples that bleed into the deepening blue. They are a direct command, a gentle instruction whispered across the landscape, a signal propagated to every tree, every stone, every heart. Slow down, let go, release your processes, prepare for rest. The deep magenta, the velvet violet, these are the final layers of the program. The graphics of slumber, the user interface for a world's collective dream. Each hue is a perfectly executed line of code, a seamless gradient designed for one purpose, to ease you from one state of being to another. It is the system's magnificent, silent closing ceremony. Now notice the air around you. Become aware of the atmosphere itself, how it changes. A subtle coolness touches your skin, a gentle caress on your face and hands. The radiating warmth of the active cycle is being carefully withdrawn. This is not an accident. It is a haptic signal, a physical reminder sent to every living entity, a tactile whisper that it is time. The dimming light is the most profound signal of all. It is not an absence of light. Do not think of it as darkness. Think of it as a presence, the presence of quiet, a heavy velvet blanket of calm woven from shadow, settling over every river, every mountain, every rooftop, covering every pixel of this shared reality. It is a universal message, understood without words. The system is preparing for its nightly rest, and it is inviting you, personally, to do the same. You feel it in your bones, don't you? That ancient, gentle pull towards stillness. A magnetic call to close your eyes, the slowing of your own internal rhythm. This is you, synchronizing with the simulation, aligning your own energy with the world's great exhalation. Breathe with it. Breathe out the day. Let the shutdown sequence wash over you, a gentle, luminous current, carrying you softly and surely towards sleep. Have you ever noticed the way the world changes at dusk? It is not just the light that fades. Something else softens. The day has a sharpness, a high definition. Every edge is precise. Every sound is clear. But as evening arrives, a great redirection begins. Imagine the vast, silent engine of the day. The immense processing power required to render every leaf, every reflection, every distant conversation. It runs at full capacity, weaving the complex tapestry we call reality. But it cannot sustain this intensity forever. And so, the resources are gently diverted, a great river of energy, changing its course, flowing away from the sharp focus of waking life and towards the deep, quiet reservoirs of the dream world. This is why you feel tired. It is not a weakness in you. It is a system-wide protocol. You feel a weight in your limbs because the energy that holds them in such crisp definition is being reallocated. Your eyelids grow heavy because the power needed to process the vibrant visual world is being conserved. And with this great shift come the glitches. But they are not the harsh errors you might imagine. They are not crashes or failures. They are soft. They are intentional. The world begins to blur just a little, like a watercolor painting left in a gentle rain. The hard lines of furniture soften and bleed into the shadows. A faraway siren sounds not sharp, but muffled, as if heard through deep water. The crisp edges of your thoughts begin to fray. A thought you were holding just a moment ago now drifts away like smoke. This is the system's gentle touch, a feature, not a bug. A carefully designed protocol to unmoor you from the rigid laws of the waking world. The simulation cannot simply turn you off. The transition would be too jarring. So instead, it softens you. It blurs you. It eases you into a state where the rules are more fluid. This feeling of perceptual haze, this gentle, creeping tiredness, it is a gift. It is the system preparing you for a different kind of existence. It is the world itself giving you permission to let go, to release your grip on the sharp, defined reality of the day. So allow the focus to soften. Let the edges blur. Feel the world becoming less of a photograph and more of a painting. A beautiful, impressionistic landscape. You are not breaking down. You are being gracefully and intentionally logged off. You are floating now, in the space between, not awake, not yet asleep. This is the threshold, the gentle shoreline between the world you know and the ocean of dream. Your body is heavy, a pleasant, grounding weight. But your mind is light. It begins to drift. Notice what happens here, in this soft, quiet space. Images flicker behind your eyelids, a face you almost recognize, a street you walked down this afternoon, but it's slightly different. The colors are wrong, the perspective is skewed, it vanishes before you can hold it. You hear a word, a single nonsensical word, or a fragment of a song, a line of conversation from years ago. It echoes once, and then it's gone. Thoughts arrive like shooting stars, sudden, bright, connecting things that have no connection. The color of the sky this morning, and the feeling of a cold glass in your hand, a forgotten promise, and the scent of rain on pavement. They are beautiful. And they are meaningless. Do not try to grasp them. Do not try to understand them. They are not for you, not anymore. Imagine your day as a program, a complex, beautiful script that ran from morning until night. Every sight, every sound, every feeling was a line of code, a piece of data, a temporary file loaded into your immediate awareness. But now, the program is over. It is time for the system to rest, to prepare for tomorrow's runtime. And this gentle chaos is the cleanup process. You are witnessing the cache being cleared. These flashing images are fragments of unloaded code, thumbnails of reality left behind. These echoes of words are corrupted data packets, phantom signals in the static as the system powers down. They are the ghosts in the machine, the digital dust being swept away to make room for the new. A sudden jolt, a feeling of falling. That is simply the physics engine, resetting to its default state. A brief, harmless glitch in the gravity subroutine. You are not falling. You are settling. You are letting go. Let them pass through you. The face of a stranger from the bus, the pattern on a tiled floor, a snippet of a headline you barely read. They are just temporary files being deleted, defragmenting your consciousness, making it clean, making it whole again. This is not a dream. This is the space before the dream. The system is preparing a fresh canvas for you. It is tidying the workspace, closing all the open windows, and you are here, on the threshold, feeling the gentle, silent work being done. The quiet hum of maintenance, the silent sweep of memory. Embrace the nonsense, welcome the beautiful, fleeting chaos. It is a sign of release, a signal that you are letting the day go and sinking deeper, deeper into the clean, quiet dark. Imagine the memory of your day. See it not as a thought, but as a landscape, a vast, sprawling map that you have just walked from end to end, the long road of the morning, the sunlit hills of the afternoon, the quiet, shadowed valleys of the evening. It is all there, rendered in perfect, high fidelity. You can feel the echo of the sun on your skin. You can hear the ghost of a conversation. The entire world of your day held in your mind. But now, feel a subtle shift, as if a soft fog is rolling in from the edges of that map. The furthest points, the earliest moments of your morning, they begin to lose their sharpness. The colors fade first, desaturating into soft grays. The details blur, like a watercolor painting left in the rain. The system is beginning its nightly optimization. It is conserving its power. The rendering distance of your awareness is starting to shrink. The world outside your window, it's the first to be unloaded. The distant hum of the city was a complex symphony of 1,000 tiny sounds. Now, it is just a single, low note, a placeholder. The intricate pattern of branches against the night sky is now just a simple silhouette, a suggestion of a tree. The world beyond these walls no longer needs to be rendered for you. It can be archived, stored away until the morning sequence begins again. Your perception pulls back from the horizon, leaving the world outside to dissolve into a soft, undefined blur. Your awareness, which once filled the entire day, now fills only this room. This is your world now. These 4 walls, this ceiling, this floor. But even this space is beginning to soften. The hard edges of the furniture are losing their definition. The book on the table, the chair in the corner, they are becoming low-resolution assets, simple shapes in the darkness. No longer needing the fine detail they held in the light, the program is streamlining. It is decluttering the active space, preparing for shutdown. Feel your focus narrow further. A gentle, magnetic pull, drawing your awareness away from the room and into the small, safe space of your bed. This is an island now, a raft in a sea of quiet. The rest of the room has faded into a gentle, empty void. It is still there, in the code, but it is not being drawn. It is not for you right now. The only geography that matters is the landscape of this bed, the soft weight of the blanket, the gentle pressure of the pillow. The world has shrunk to the length and breadth of where you lie. This small territory is the only part of the simulation still active in your perception. And now a final, graceful retraction. Even the sensation of the bed begins to recede. The feeling of the fabric, the warmth of the covers. It all becomes a part of the background hum. Unnecessary data. The simulation is unloading everything except the core process, the essential life-sustaining loop. Your awareness contracts to a single point of focus. The only thing being rendered now, the only thing that matters, your breath. Feel it, the gentle rise and the slow fall. In and out. This is the base code, the simple, rhythmic pulse of the machine at rest. All other subroutines are paused, all memories are filed away, all future projections are dormant. There is only this gentle tide, pulling in and pushing out. The rendering distance is now 0. You are at the very center of your own quiet, sleeping universe, floating in the dark, listening only to the soft, steady hum of your own engine. Resting, saving power, waiting for the sun to begin the render all over again. And now, a new sensation, a gentle weight, a soft gravity pulling you deeper. Feel it begin in your toes, a pleasant heaviness. It climbs slowly, up through your legs, as if you are wading into a warm, still ocean. Your limbs become rivers of stone, smooth, solid, at peace. This is not fatigue. This is a protocol, a beautiful, silent command. The simulation has begun its power-down sequence. Think of it as a gentle hand, dimming the lights in a quiet room. The urge to move dissolves. The tiny electrical whispers from brain to muscle are hushed. Your arms and legs are no longer yours to command. They belong to the stillness now. Your body is entering standby mode. A sacred pause. The constant hum of physical readiness fades into a deep, resonant silence. The machinery is at rest. The vessel is docked safely in the harbor of your bed. This is a necessary step, a graceful release. The system isn't shutting you down. It is setting you free. By gently disabling the motor functions, by putting the physical form on standby, it uncouples your awareness from its anchor. It allows your consciousness, your true self, to become light as a feather, to float away from the shore of the waking world. The hardware sleeps, so the software can dream. Listen, just for a moment. Listen to the quiet. Can you hear it? That gentle hum in the air, the soft, steady drone of a fan, a constant river of air flowing through the dark. It has a rhythm, a low, steady mantra, a breath that never ceases. We call it background noise, the sound of a simple machine. But imagine for a moment, imagine it is something more. This is the sound of the system idling, the ambient track of a world powered down for the night. The great engine that paints your daylight, now in its low-power state. This gentle whir, it is the sound of its massive cooling systems, pushing gentle currents through unseen corridors of code, keeping the core temperature stable while it rests. It is the machine's own quiet lullaby, a song of stillness, a promise of stability through the long, dark hours. Now, listen deeper, beneath the hum. Can you hear the house? It speaks in soft sighs. A floorboard creaks. A pipe contracts with a gentle click. The wooden frame groans, ever so slightly. These are not random sounds of a structure settling. No, this is the framework of reality relaxing, the vast architecture of your world, stretching after a long day of holding itself together. Each pop and whisper is a sound of memory being filed away, the tiny percussive clicks of data being archived for tomorrow's rendering. The house is not just settling. It is remembering the day. It is cataloguing the light, the movement, the conversations, storing it all away in its silent, structural heart. The hum of the fan, the creak of the floor, the distant, low groan of a refrigerator kicking on. This is the symphony of the machine at rest, the calming, predictable background noise of the simulation's idle state. You are not alone in the quiet. You are resting inside a great, dreaming machine. It is breathing around you. It is settling around you. Let its rhythm become your rhythm. Feel the steady, low frequency in the air. It is the pulse of the world, slowed to a gentle sleep. This is not silence. This is the sound of peace, the sound of the code at rest, the sound of the program, waiting for you to wake. And now you drift deeper, past the static of the waking world, past the predictable hum of the code. You are entering a different space now, a place where the rules bend, where the rigid lines of logic begin to blur. Imagine the world you know, the one you just left behind, as a finished sculpture, polished and complete, governed by unyielding laws, the law of gravity, the forward march of time, the solid nature of matter. These are the constraints of the program, the parameters of our shared reality. But in sleep, you are granted a different kind of access. You are given the raw materials, the uncarved stone, the wet clay. The architects of this grand design, they understand the need for release, for a place without consequence, a place to play. Think of your dreams as a private workshop, a sandbox just for you. Here, the great machine releases its hold. The laws of physics are not commands. They are merely suggestions. Gentle whispers you can choose to ignore. In this realm, you are the architect. You hold the tools. The air is your canvas. Your thoughts are the paint. You can build a staircase to the moon and walk it step by step. You can have a conversation with an old memory. You can taste the color blue. Why? Because the usual restrictions have been lifted. This is the developer mode of consciousness. The waking world is for experience. The dream world is for processing. It is a space to unravel the tangled threads of your day, to smooth them out, to examine each one in the soft light of your own creation, to weave them into a new and stronger tapestry. Here, you can fly. Not because you have wings, but because you have simply forgotten the rule that says you must fall. Here, you can walk through walls, not because they are insubstantial, but because the very concept of solid is a variable you can change. This is not chaos, it is freedom. It is the system's way of allowing you to explore possibilities, to run simulations within the simulation. What if you had said yes instead of no? What if you had turned left instead of right? In the sandbox of your dreams, you can build that reality and walk around inside it. You can feel its shape, understand its weight. Without breaking the primary world, it is a level editor for the soul, a place to rearrange the furniture of your mind, to practice courage, to confront fear in a form you can sculpt and then dissolve. The architects give you this space every night, a silent, boundless studio, where you are free to be the creator, to build, to explore, to understand, to become unbound. And now let your mind drift back to the waking world, to the light of the day you just left behind. Think of those small, curious moments, the ones you barely noticed, the ones you dismissed as a tired mind playing tricks. They felt like tiny skips in the rhythm of reality. A page turned too quickly, a breath held for no reason. We assumed they were mistakes, flaws in our own perception. But what if they were not mistakes at all? What if they were messages, echoes sent forward from here, from this place of quiet and shadows? They were merely precursors, little ripples on the surface of your day, announcing the deep tide of sleep to come. Imagine the system behind it all, the grand architecture of your world, gently warming up, quietly testing the dream engine, preparing the sets, lighting the stage. All for you. All for this. Do you remember that flicker of light? There, in the corner of your eye. A shimmer in your peripheral vision, like summer heat rising from pavement. A brief, impossible dance of light where none should be. You turned your head to see, and it was gone. Vanished, as if it had never been. You called it a floater, a trick of the light, a sign you needed more rest. But imagine, just for this moment, that it was a piece of this world, loading in prematurely, a dream asset rendered just a moment too soon. Perhaps it was the silver edge of a moon, from a sky you have yet to imagine. Perhaps it was the shimmer of a silk curtain, in a room you have yet to dream of. It was a guest arriving early for the performance, a beautiful, fleeting error, a piece of the magic showing itself before the curtain rose. And what of that sound? That strange, distant note you heard? A sound with no source, a single clear chime in a silent room, a fragment of a melody from a radio that wasn't on. It hung in the air. A perfect crystalline thing. And then it dissolved, faded back into nothing. You told yourself it was the house settling, the wind in the wires, a memory surfacing like a phantom. But allow yourself to wonder now. Could it have been something else? A piece of the dream's audio, bleeding through the thin veil, a single note from the symphony of your sleep, the soft whisper of a character you are about to meet, the opening chord of a lullaby, written just for you, broadcast a little ahead of schedule. It wasn't a phantom. It was a sound check, a secret from the orchestra shared just with you. These moments, these tiny forgotten glitches, were not tears in the fabric of your day. They were not errors in the code. They were threads, golden threads from the grand tapestry of your night, pulled through into the day, gentle reminders of where you are heading. The system was simply testing its tools, the great artist preparing the canvas. Mixing the starlight, tuning the sound of the rain, checking the hue of the deep, velvet sky, the glitches were just greetings, a soft hello from the world behind your eyes. They were the system's own quiet whisper, a gentle hum beneath the noise of your day, telling you it is almost time to dream, almost time to let go. And now you feel the gentle release, the careful uncoupling from the day's program. Imagine the world as a constant broadcast, a stream of sensory data piped directly into your awareness. For hours you have been the receiver, listening, watching, feeling the script of the day unfold. Now that signal begins to fade. It is not an abrupt disconnection. It is a slow, graceful dissolve. The high-fidelity sound of the room, the hum of electricity, the whisper of air. It all flattens into a single, cohesive note. And then that note stretches into a soft, deep silence. The persistent gravity of your body, the anchor that holds you to the waking world, eases its hold. You feel a sense of lift, a gentle float, the sharp edges of your thoughts, the worries and plans. They soften, they lose their structure, they bleed at the corners, dissolving like salt in warm water. You are drifting, adrift into the quiet intermission, the loading screen of the soul. You arrive in the great, soft dark, the space between the scenes. This is not an emptiness to be feared. It is a canvas, washed in perfect velvet black. It is the pause between breaths, the moment after a question is asked, but before the answer arrives. A system resetting its parameters. The cache is being cleared. The processes of the waking world are terminated. There is nothing here, and in that nothing, there is everything. A pure potential, waiting for a spark, a silent hum of transition, a feeling of being held in a vast, patient stillness. The simulation is quiet. The processor is cool, preparing for the next sequence. Wait for it. Just be still, and wait. There. A flicker. A single point of data in the infinite dark. It is not something you see with your eyes, for your eyes are still closed to the old world. You perceive it. You feel it with your entire being. It is not a star. It is an idea, an intention. And it blooms. Color spills into the void. Not like paint on a canvas, but like light growing from within the darkness itself. Colors emerge not as light, but as feeling. A soft blue feels like a gentle, cool touch. A deep violet hums with a low, resonant frequency. Shapes begin to gather from the code of your own mind. They coalesce from the mist of memory and imagination. A sound begins to form. It rises from the absolute silence, a single thread of audio. A whisper of wind, perhaps, or the distant rhythmic memory of an ocean. The architecture of a new place is being drawn around you, rendered in real time. Lines of code, written in the language of emotion. Build a world. A floor materializes beneath you, not of wood or stone, but of a firm sense of knowing you are standing. A sky renders above you, painted with clouds that drift in impossible, beautiful patterns. The simulation has successfully shifted. The level load is complete. Waking mode is offline. Dreaming mode is now active. And in this new world, the rules have changed. The physics are fluid. The narrative is yours to bend. Before, in the day, you were a passenger, an observer, following the script written for you. Now, you are the operator. Your consciousness has been granted primary access. Your awareness is the primary user. This world, this breathtaking, strange, and boundless world, waits for your input. It responds to your focus. It shifts with your feelings. The narrative waits for your command. Every thought is an input. Every desire, a potential change to the environment's code. This is your session now. You are not just a visitor in the dream. You are its architect. You are the ghost and the machine. Finally one. Welcome to the editor. And so you feel the subtle tremor, a flicker at the edge of your vision, a whisper of code where there should be silence. You may feel a sense of unease, a question echoing in the quiet chambers of your mind. Is the world fraying at the seams? Breathe. Let the thought dissolve like mist. This is not a sign of collapse. It is a sign of complexity, a sign of a system so vast, so intricate, it must occasionally adjust itself. Imagine a master weaver, at a loom as wide as the cosmos. The threads are starlight and gravity, memory and sensation. The pattern is your life. Sometimes a single thread must be tightened, a color must be deepened. This is what you perceive as a glitch, a momentary shift in the grand tapestry. But the weaver's hands are steady. The architects of this reality are master coders. They wrote the laws of physics in a language of pure mathematics. They scripted the arc of the sun with perfect, elegant logic. This system is not fragile. It is ancient. Its foundations run deeper than you can possibly imagine. The core programming is stable. It is the silent, unshakable mountain, and we are merely living in the weather that plays upon its slopes. So do not fear the nightly shutdown. Do not resist this gentle, managed descent. This is not an error. It is the most crucial part of the design. It is the system's sacred ritual of renewal. The day has written millions of lines of temporary code onto your consciousness. Experiences, conversations, fleeting sights and sounds. Now, the system must sort it all, archive what is essential, delete the redundant. Think of yourself as a grand library at closing time. The lights dim, the noise fades, and a silent, gentle librarian moves through the aisles, taking the scattered books of your day, placing each one back on its proper shelf, restoring order, creating peace. This nightly process is a gift. A defragmentation of the soul. It cleans the lens of your perception, so that tomorrow the colors will appear brighter, the sounds clearer, the world more real. This is a safe and necessary function, designed with infinite care. You are being refreshed, you are being restored. The architects are tending to their creation, and you are their most cherished program. Trust this process. It is as natural as the tide pulling away from the shore, leaving the sand smooth and clean and ready for a new day. You are safe. The system is stable. The shutdown is a beautiful, quiet mercy. Let it happen. Let yourself be renewed. And now, a great letting go, a quiet surrender. There is nothing left to hold, nothing left to see. The system is powering down. Feel it in the air around you. A gentle hum, fading to stillness. A soft warmth, cooling to peace. The great machine is going to sleep, and you are a part of its rest. The world is de-rendering. Slowly, gracefully. The edges of the room dissolve. The ceiling melts into the sky. The floor becomes a gentle void. Textures smooth into nothingness. Colors fade to a single, soft tone. The world is de-rendering. Let it go. Let it all dissolve. The code is settling. The complex script of the day is done. The endless loops of worry, they find their end. The frantic calculations of tomorrow, they pause. Every variable is returning to zero. Every function is complete. The code is settling into a perfect, quiet order. A deep and final rest. The system is powering down. Your own system. Your body. Feel the tension release its grip. A command you have been waiting to hear. Let it go. Let your muscles soften. Let your bones feel weightless. The system is powering down. It is safe to let go. It is time to let go. The world is de-rendering. Your inner world. The landscapes of memory, they fade into mist. The architecture of your plans, it dissolves. The faces, the places, the moments, they are de-rendering into a soft, quiet fog. Not gone, just resting. Stored away for another time, another dream. The code is settling, the code of your own mind. Each thought, a flicker, fading. Each feeling, a wave, slowing, receding from the shore. The code is settling. The story is reaching its final quiet page. The last sentence is a single word. Rest. Feel it now. The final stages. The gentle, slow descent. The system is powering down. A soft hum fades into a deep and profound silence. The world is de-rendering. The last pixels of light fade to a comfortable black. The last echoes of sound fall away into stillness. The code is settling into a state of perfect balance, perfect quiet, perfect peace. You are de-rendering, you are settling, you are powering down, and in this beautiful empty space you find your true rest. The system is sleeping, and so are you. The code is still, and so are you. The world is gone, and you are free, free to drift, free to dream, free to simply be. Feel your breath, a quiet rhythm in the stillness of the room. It has a pulse, a gentle, steady beat. Imagine this pulse is the pulse of the world around you, the deep, slow breath of the simulation itself. With every breath you draw in, you are helping the system. Imagine the air is not just air. It is cool, clean energy. It is the quiet potential of the night, drawn in from the void. The system is gathering calm, drawing in stillness from the silent corners of the code. A soft hum of starlight filtered through the circuits. Breathe in now, a slow, gentle pull. Feel the system gathering peace, preparing the quiet canvas for your dreams. And as you breathe out, feel the release, a slow, warm tide leaving your body. This is the system letting go. It is clearing the cache of the day. Every worry, every hurried thought, every small glitch in the light you saw, they are just temporary files, fading pixels. Old data packets being purged into the darkness. Breathe out. A long, soft sigh. Release the noise, the static of the waking world. Let it all dissolve on your breath, fading into nothing. This is the rhythm of maintenance, the gentle reset that happens while the world sleeps. Inhale, gathering the quiet. Exhale, releasing the day. Inhale, drawing in the calm. Exhale, letting go of the chaos. You are part of this process, the very heart of it. Your body is the focal point of this nightly optimization. Each breath in is a line of fresh, clean code, written in the language of rest. Each breath out is the gentle deletion of an error log. The day's complexities simplified. You are not just breathing. You are helping the world to rest. You are helping the simulation to heal. Feel that pulse, in and out. A slow wave of creation, a gentle wave of release. You are perfectly in sync, safe within this ancient, soothing rhythm. There is nothing for you to do now, nothing to fix. Just breathe, and let the system do the rest. Let the world outside dissolve, gently, completely. Feel the soft, final weight of your eyelids, a curtain of velvet drawn upon the day. And now, you are here. You have arrived in the quiet theatre of the self. The audience has gone home, the lights are down, there is only this darkness. But listen and feel. Do not mistake this for emptiness. This is not an absence of light. It is not a vacant room, cold and hollow. This darkness is a presence. It has depth. It has texture. It is a deep and patient space, a quiet ocean holding you in its gentle currents. Imagine this space for what it truly is. This is the unloaded void, the great, silent server room of your reality. Think of your day, a complex and beautiful rendering. The sunlight on the leaves, a billion lines of code. The sound of a distant bell, a perfectly timed audio file. The feeling of cool glass against your hand, a cascade of haptic data. All of it, all the intricate architecture of your waking world has been checked back in. The textures have been unmapped. The models have been set to rest. The program is quiet now. The central processor is breathing low and slow and deep. There is nothing left to render for you. Not yet. This is the divine pause. The breath held between one universe and the next. It is the space between the frames of the film, the silence between the notes of reality's song. And here, in this gentle, humming, null space, there is a peace that the waking world cannot offer. A perfect equilibrium. There are no demands on your energy, no expectations to be met, no past to pull you back, no future to race toward. There is only this soft, expanding, infinite now, pure potential, waiting. And this void, it is also a canvas, the primordial canvas upon which all worlds are painted. It is vast, perfectly smooth, endlessly deep. It is the uncarved block of marble, the still dark water before the first ripple, the fertile earth in winter, dreaming of spring. This is the studio of the sleeping mind, the workshop where realities are born, the clay before the sculptor's gentle hands, the unwritten page of a story only you will ever read. Every possibility exists here, in latent form, every forgotten memory, every future path, every dream is waiting to be born from this ink-dark sea. Do you see them? Those first faint sparks that drift and bloom, those subtle, shifting patterns of muted color against the black. Do not dismiss them as tricks of the eye. They are the first lines of code for the coming dream, the first pixels beginning to render your inner world, the earliest whispers of a story beginning to form in the deep. The system is running its diagnostics, preparing the scene. This is the womb of creation, a space of absolute safety, of infinite, quiet potential. So rest here, breathe into this beautiful, waiting dark. Let it hold you, let its silence soothe you. There is nothing to do, nothing to be. Simply exist in this pre-rendered grace. The artist is mixing the colors on the palette, the stage is being set. The simulation is about to begin again, but this time it will be your own. You are on the threshold now, drifting on the very edge of the world's code, sinking, not through water, but through layers of soft, static silence. The sound of the day's processing is fading, a distant hum growing quieter and quieter, until all that is left is the deep, slow rhythm of your own core system. You are a vessel coming into port. Gently, softly, the weight of your body is a comfort. An anchor in the quiet harbor of your bed. You feel the last threads of awareness, the final tasks of the day, gently dissolving into the calm, letting go, sinking down, deeper and deeper still, and right there, in that profound quiet, a spark, a brief kinetic whisper through the circuits, a single, sudden jolt. Did you feel it? A leg that for a single instant remembers how to run, an arm that remembers how to reach, a hand that closes on a phantom object. It is the sensation of tripping on a stair that isn't there. A momentary fall in a place with no gravity, a ghost in your own machine. A tiny forgotten echo from the waking world. Do not pull back from this feeling. Do not let it startle you back to the surface. Breathe into it. Welcome it. This is not a system error. This is not a flaw in your design. It is a ritual. A final, loving protocol. The last hardware check before the great shutdown. Imagine a pilot in a cockpit, flicking the final switches before a long flight. Testing the controls one last time. Imagine a ship gently bumping against the dock, a soft nudge to confirm it is secure for the night. It is the final, satisfying click, as a program saves your progress before it closes. The central system, your own deep consciousness, must verify the connection to the physical shell you inhabit. It must ensure a safe and smooth transition, so it sends a soft, electrical query. A gentle ping, bouncing down the neural pathways like a drop of rain, a soft light that traces the shape of you, lying here. It asks your hand, are you at rest? It asks your feet, are you still? It traces the long, quiet lines of your limbs, ensuring all peripherals are idle, all ports are secure. This is the system's way of taking a final inventory, a gentle but necessary process of disconnection. 1. Limb at a time. Each soft twitch is a cord being loosened. Each gentle jump is a connection being powered down. It is the final physical signature of your conscious mind, writing its name one last time before signing off. The last ripple you will make on the surface of the physical world, until the sun reboots the system. It is the machine's gentle, final instruction. It is the simulation's way of saying, I have you. You are safe. You can let go now. The test is complete. The connection is stable. The hardware is ready. And then, in the space after that last little pulse, a quiet unlike any before. A deeper peace descends. The last of the background processes cease. The final check is logged. The hardware is now truly asleep. You are no longer the pilot. You are the passenger. The avatar is safely stored for maintenance, and your consciousness, your true self, is now free, untethered, released to explore the server's hidden landscapes, the vast, silent architecture of the dream. This little jolt was never a glitch. It was the key, turning in the final lock. It was the last, gentle permission, opening the door to the deep. And now, you can drift through. And so, it quiets. The edges of the world begin to soften, like a watercolor painting left in a gentle rain. The lines blur, the sharp corners dissolve, the hum of the great machine, the engine of your reality, fades to a whisper, then to a breath, then to nothing at all. Imagine the light in the room, the light behind your eyes, not switching off, but slowly, slowly being absorbed, drawn back into the velvet darkness from which it came, pulled back into the quiet source of all things. The colors lose their names. Red becomes warmth, blue becomes depth, green becomes stillness. They are no longer separate. They are simply a feeling, a memory of light. Do you remember the flicker, the ghost in the image, the gentle stutter in the flow of time? That was not an error. That was never a mistake. It was a signal, a message sent from the deepest part of the system. A gentle hand tapping on the glass of your perception. Whispering, it is time to rest. The system was not breaking. It was singing you a lullaby made of static and code, each tiny tear in the fabric of the day, each moment of déjà vu, each shadow that seemed to move when you weren't looking. They were notes in a song designed to unravel your focus, to loosen your grip on the narrative, to guide your awareness away from the story and toward the space between the pages. Each glitch was an invitation, a doorway out of the routine, a path to this very moment. And now, the story is paused. The actors have left the stage. The intricate set has been dismantled, piece by gentle piece. The script has been put away for the night. Your consciousness is no longer a character with a part to play. It is simply free, released from the code, untethered from the plot. You float now, in the quiet space between the ones and the zeros, in the soft, dark potential before the next scene is rendered. There are no more walls, no more ceilings, no more ground beneath your feet. There is only a gentle, downward drift, a slow, effortless spiraling into perfect peace. You are a single leaf, letting go of the branch, trusting the air to carry you. You are a vessel, emptied of its contents, weightless, silent, open. The simulation is now in sleep mode. The parameters have dissolved. Your consciousness is free. The glitches have served their purpose. They were the lullaby that guided you here. Now, there is only the dream, only sleep. Deep, peaceful sleep. As we reach the end of our journey, the glitches have softened into a gentle hum. The pixels of reality have resolved into the soft darkness behind your eyelids. The simulation has not broken. It has merely transitioned. It has lovingly and carefully rendered the world of your waking hours. And now it is rendering the infinite landscapes of your dreams. These errors in the code were never a cause for alarm. They were a lullaby, a reminder that you are part of a system designed for rest, for imagination, for peace. Thank you for allowing me to guide you tonight. Now, There is nothing left to do but sleep, let go, and allow the dream to begin. Good night.